What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Brotherly Banter podcast. My name is Christian. This is Sebastian. Today, we are going to be doing a bit of a reaction video podcast. So, we are going to be reacting to Valuetainment's PBD. Actually, I think this is his Valuetainment episode, talking about why men live harder lives than women. That's right? That's the correct one.
Yep, that's the that's
Okay.
the that's the video.
So I'll be playing some clips and then we're gonna, pause and talk about it and just kind of get some reactions here. And then if you guys, while we're doing this, if you're watching this video, leave any comments, give us some feedback on what your thoughts are about any of these clips. So give me one sec here and I'll pull this up.
Should be fun.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy watching this podcast, man. He's got, and this is a hot topic right now, all through YouTube. So all right, can you see that?
Yep.
All right, so I'll have to clip this.
Twice as many women as men. Now, what does this mean? In the history of mankind, 80% of women have reproduced and have had kids. Only 40% of men have ever reproduced. So 80% women, 40%.
Pretty crazy.
What does this mean? That means 4 out of 5 women reproduce, only 2 out of 5 men reproduce. Now, why is this? So when we were looking at this thing here, we said, let's look at data. Let's look at some of the stuff that we have access to right now. It could be Tinder. And then let's look at what women look for in men in a
All right, I'm gonna pause it right here real quick, and we'll reshare it again. So, 4 out of 5 women reproduce, and it was 2 out of 5 men reproduce.
Yeah. So 80% of women.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think. So, we talked about this, on the last podcast with all these women, nowadays, like doing all these, OnlyFans and stuff like that, kind of not really going the classical route of what we're used to or what men are used to in the past. Do you think these stats are going to be like holding up moving forward, or are these kind of stats something that's going to be it kind of, they seem, do you think they're current stats, or they're going to change in the future?
I mean, this is throughout history, right? But I think we're going to see probably an increase. Well, it's funny because when they say women reproduce, so this is not necessarily marriage. This is just people that reproduce, right? Have kids, and we've seen basically, United States is #1 in single mothers, right? So even though women are not getting necessarily in relationships, they're still reproducing, and a lot of times they're reproducing with some of the same guys. So I think that's we're going to see it increase more. I think that we're still going to have kids. Like women are still going to outnumber men as far as reproduction, but I think the men's level is going to go down. I think less men are going to have kids because the marriage now there's no really incentive. If men are not getting married, I don't think there's going to be as many men having kids, obviously. So I think that's going to go down. So women might stay the same, maybe go down a little bit, but men for sure are going to go.
I
It's going to go
think
down.
so. I think my thought is, I think the men are going to stay the same. I think women are going to come down. So basically, I think it's going to end up being like almost even across the board. And the reason I say is because obviously with all this stuff going on social media and women like just not being the type of women that most guys want to settle down with nowadays. Like this is not, I'm not trying to
Traditional
general,
women.
traditional women. Like there's a lot of, especially when you come to like the more attractive women that are using their looks for opportunities, which it's kind of hard because you can't hate on them because they have the opportunity. I'm probably, if I was a female and I look good, I'd probably do the same thing. But most men, don't, like normal men are not going to want to settle down with someone that's been, posting nude or doing porn and stuff on online. So I think it's going to kind of, even out later on. I think it's going to be less women having kids, but who knows? I mean, I could be wrong. It just depends on what happens with social media and if OnlyFans sticks around or gets any bigger. It may
I
change.
think it also depends on country, right? He was talking about worldwide, right?
Did he say worldwide?
Yeah,
I
he
don't.
wasn't. He was historically, like, for the most part, around the world, people in a lot of countries have those traditional values. I think Western countries have lost those values, and you might see a slight decline, but I believe across the board, women are going to continue having kids. The question is, are they going to continue getting married? It looks like marriage is down, but women are still having kids, man, but they're just having kids out of wedlock. And
Yeah.
so I don't
And that,
know.
yeah, that's going to continue happening. Honestly, you're talking about worldwide stuff. Like, even I think this stuff is even affecting people in different countries where usually you wouldn't have seen this before. For example, there's a lot of videos out there about high value men and high value women, and all that whole topic. And you see podcasts across the US with this stuff. But I actually just saw one in in a foreign country. I don't know if it was like a country like in the Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East, and they were actually having the same discussions, and the women were, it was like literally if they were living in the US, but they were actually living in the Middle East, and they were having the same discussions we're having here. The men are fed up with these women, that they think they can do whatever they want, and do all this stuff, and it's not going to affect them. And when they're looking, if they're really looking for a high value man. So I think it's going to affect the world, not just the US. I mean, it's going to affect us faster because we're just
Yeah.
consumers. But I think it's going to change worldwide.
Women are pushing back marriage and kids later on because they have careers now. But there's still a lot of women that are having kids early on, and they're not in a relationship. They're just single mothers. How many people have I met in the last? I can't even name how many people I've met. Like they've been married, had a divorce, but have a kid through one guy, have a kid through another guy, like multiple kids from multiple different fathers. And there's a famous Genghis Khan. We've heard about Genghis Khan
Yeah.
back in the day. They say that pretty much reproduced, like there's still descendants to this day from him, and a lot of them. So I don't know the stats, but that's what's I feel like it's happening more and more. It's like women are sharing a lot of guys, and they're having kids with those guys too. So
All right, let me play the next clip here and see.
In men in a short-term relationship and what women look for in men in long-term relationship, and then you get to make a decision for yourself on how to increase your market value. So according to Tinder, this is what you get on how many women swipe right versus how many men swipe right. If you've never been on Tinder, like I've never been on Tinder, swiping right means you're
It's like,
yeah, he's like he had to put that out there
yeah,
because his
like
wife,
he wants to make sure his wife knows. I've never been on Tinder before.
yeah. He's like, I don't know if it's right or left, but
I've never seen this app,
yeah.
honey.
That's so funny.
Person swiping left is I don't have any interest. When it comes down to men swipe right 53% of the time. That means
Sebastian, you're definitely in
Yeah.
that percentage.
I would
there.
say like we probably swipe higher. I would say like 75, 80% of the time.
Yeah, I think 53 seems a little bit low, but I mean, who knows?
Is they're interested. 47% of the time they say, no, I'm not interested. However, for women, you ready? Ladies, this is you now. Okay? This represents your number according to Tinder. You ready? Women only swipe right 5% of the time.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, is that they're all chasing the same guy. So that same guy has the option to reproduce with multiple women.
If they're only swiping 5% of the times to the right. I mean, they're literally like they're trying to find a needle in a haystack, and they're all going for the same needle because like there's not that many, not that many of those guys out there.
Well, it's all superficial. It's all based on looks. I literally had a conversation about this yesterday on a date. I went on a date yesterday. I think I was telling you about earlier, but we talked about this, believe it or not, because I was curious to see on a woman's perspective. And she basically said the same thing I was thinking is like, the problem with dating apps is so superficial because everyone tries to swipe on the tallest guy, the best looking guy. But what happens is that same woman can meet a different guy that she swiped, left on, right? Not right, right? I just
left is no, right is right.
Yeah. Good. So basically, she can meet that person maybe out and about, and she'll give that person a chance. Where on the dating apps, they have no chance. So
yeah, I think those dating apps are, I mean, who knows? I feel like they're just so saturated right now. And obviously I don't use them. I've never gotten the chance to use them, but I feel like they're so saturated. Another thing is like, these women that are, the 5% or, the women that are on there, listen, in the real world, like these women, they talk shit about guys, oh, he's ugly or he's this and he's that. And these women you know, you're calling someone ugly, but you got 10 pounds of freaking makeup on. You got lip fillers, you got fake, you know, eyelashes, you got fake boobs, fake everything, fake tan. And you have the nerve to call some average guy ugly because he doesn't have all this shit. I'm pretty sure if men would go out and like and just put on makeup and like, you know, get done up every single day as much as these women do, all these men would be a lot prettier. But
Well,
we're naturally looking this way.
you know what they say, men usually look better when you meet them in person, according to women, and then women usually look worse when you meet them in person based on their pictures.
Yeah, because you know, every woman is using like 20 freaking filters on their Instagram pages just to get this like this soft skin and no wrinkles and no blemishes. It's full of shit, dude. And
Yeah.
then you wake up next to these women and they look like a completely different person. Like, who the hell's this person? I did not come home with you last night. And then,
You got to
you
think
know,
of
that's not.
swimming.
And then they have the nerve to call somebody ugly. No, bitch, you're fucking ugly. You have to wear 10 pounds of makeup. And this is why there's so much money in the industry.
It's a sense of entitlement. It's like they're getting a lot of validation, they're getting a lot of likes, and it creates a lot of, I think, options for them, even though they're not legitimate options. That's where the confusion is, because she can swipe, maybe she's a 5 or a 6, but she can swipe on a guy that's an 8 or a 9 as far as looks. But that guy's not going to take her really serious because that guy has so many different options.
No,
So
I
he
mean,
might just hook up with her, but that's what the women don't understand a lot of times, is that just because a guy swipes on you doesn't mean he's looking for a relationship. All it means he's looking maybe for a good time. And
yeah.
that guy has a ton of options. Well, the other guy that you swipe, you didn't swipe right on, he might be a good fit for you because he's probably on the same level as you as far as looks. Because they say women always date up, like as far as looks, and guys, we don't have a problem dating down.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
mean,
times.
I think, you know, the women, obviously they're in that age, whatever age, like, you know, they're looking for some older men, you know, more established, have money and probably, you know, and I'm not being a dick, but like they're looking for a free ride. Not all of
Yeah.
them, but like these ones that are on social media looking, you know, looking for attention. And these guys are not dumb, man. Like they know they've already made them, like they've made their money. They don't want to settle down for the most part, especially like if they're living the life like, you know, like Dan Bilzerian, like they're going out and seeing all these people. Why are they going to get locked down? I mean, these women are like, maybe I can get pregnant by him, and then you know he's going to owe me money.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
that's
dumbest mentality ever. If that's really what you're going for, I mean, these guys are not going to just settle down with you.
no, there's so many beautiful women out there, and there's so very few very successful men out there. And if they're successful and they don't want to settle down, well, that means they're just hooking up with all those girls.
Yeah,
And so that's why you have the side chick thing, right? Like I'm the side chick, because that's what
yeah, but they're
it's
all
comes
side
down to.
chicks.
They're all side chicks, yeah, but they don't even know that sometimes.
I mean, you got to be a
It's like,
freaking idiot. I mean, and listen, there's no, if that's what you want to be, that's fine. But just, you know, stop trying to pretend you're something that you're not.
yeah.
Let me go back here and play the next one.
95% of the time, you say, I am not interested, swipe left. A rejection to the man. So if you're a guy watching this and saying, Pat, I'm on these dating apps and I got to take this absolutely sucks. Well, let me give you some more bad news before we go tell you how to measure short-term and long-term value. We found this chart showing in the attractiveness of how attractive you are in the women category. Like, are you in the 80? Still interested in a woman that's this percentile of attractiveness. So it's a little bit of a crazy chart, but I'm going to put it up and we'll go through this together. So here's what it is. If you look at the chart, you see the female advantage to male advantage, right? On the left, it says male attractiveness percentile, right? On the
And here, I think he's just kind of talking about
Where does it go to the percentages? That's what I want to.
let me see here. I think you're kind of talking like, you know, more average women have more chances of getting like better looking men than average men, you know, do
Yeah,
getting like good looking women.
of course, because men, I mean, women have a lot of options. Even ugly women have a lot of options.
Yeah. You know what? Like, and I don't know how, like, I've been out of the dating scene for a while now, but to be honest with you, you can be an average looking guy. And if you're confident and you have personality, you can still get with like a higher, level chick.
You can get like a good looking chick. I mean, the thing is, you're not going to get them on the apps.
Yeah.
Just forget about. You got to get them in person. That's what my point is like the apps is very superficial. Unless you have a really good pictures or you're showing a lifestyle, maybe you're showing that you have a lot of money, then she'll might. But if you're just an average looking dude and she's beautiful, most of the time she's gonna. You're just the 5%er at that point.
And
I mean,
guys,
the 95%er.
You know, something to take away here, like when you're young, you're looking for, you know, the hottest chick, right? The looks go away after a while. These girls are in their prime, in their early 20s, and like eventually we all get older and get look a little different. But you have to make sure whatever, you know, the values, whatever you're looking for in a woman is there first, because like I said, like that, the looks are going to go away. Her values and whatever you're looking for in a woman, you know, are going to stay as long as she has them. So
unless you're Leonardo DiCaprio, you can just trade them in every couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's a different story. If you're a celebrity, then you don't have to listen to any of this shits because you you live a whole different. You live a whole
you don't
different
have
level.
to go on dating apps. You don't got to
Yeah.
do anything. Like you literally, women chase you. The different dynamic. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, you know, I'd rather date. To be honest with you, if it comes down to dating and being with a smoke show of a 9 or a 10, or maybe just a nice 7, I'd rather date a 7 if she's a good girl. Like I prefer someone that's, you know, a good person than someone that's just, she looks really good, but she's crazy, or she's all into herself. And, you know, what happened? I don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And I said they're all a little bit crazy.
Yeah, well, that's the crazy matrix, right? The hot and crazy matrix. That's what he talks about, right? You want a girl that's not so hot, but you know, hot enough, but not too crazy. The hotter they are, the crazier they are. That's what you call the wife zone.
Look at this, it's quite depressing, because if you're in the bottom 20% of men in attractiveness, if you look how small that is, you're only dealing with 2 to 3% of women. That means 1 in every 50 women. That's your pool.
Yeah, you're done.
Step it up, guys.
Yeah, I mean, those are the guys that are probably really out of shape, or just they don't take care of themselves. Like, I mean, you can get in the top at least 50%, 60%.
Play video games all day, or you're gonna say, I better get my act together. So what are women looking for short term, and what are women looking for long term? Let's look at the data. Women looking for a short term relationship versus long term relationship on 6 different.
This is the stuff I find interesting.
1 is resources, meaning how much money, success you have. 3 is your game. 4 is your personality. 5 is your status, and 6 is your age. Looks is 35% of decision-making process. Resources is only 6%. Game is 30%.
Oh, and pause it when it gets to the end.
Personality is 9%. Status is 13%, and then age, whatever, 7%.
All right, pause it. Go back there. I want to go over this. So short term, this is basically Tinder right here, baby. So girls that are just looking to hook up, what do they look for? First of all, just looks, pretty much. Forget game. You can't do game over Tinder. You got to have the looks first. I mean, maybe once she swipes right on you, you got to talk to her through text and stuff. But looks, number one, if she's looking to hook up, she doesn't care about your resources because she probably just wants a good time. She's there for a good time, not a long time. And then game, obviously, if you're good looking and she meets with you and you're just awkward as hell, she's not going to want to sleep with you. And then personality, I mean, I guess you don't even have to talk at this point. This is Leonardo. You remember what Dan said? I always forget his last name. Bazarian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when he said that he was at a yacht party once and a girl just walked up to him? He didn't say one word and slept with her.
Oh.
He didn't have to put game in.
Yeah,
that's an example.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole different level, though. I mean, not saying that it can't happen, but that's a whole different level.
But I mean, he has a status. That's the thing. So
I mean, yeah, this guy doesn't have to do anything to. He probably walked into his room. He's got like 10 random girls in there.
Yeah, we got to separate celebrity. But I'm just saying, like, that's an example of someone just not putting in any effort. He didn't have to open his mouth, and the girl just wanted to sleep with him. So you got these guys on the dating app where they're just maybe really good looking and they're tall and they're fit, and girls just want to sleep with them no matter what they say. You know, one guy could be like, say something and he's good looking. Oh, that's so sexy. The other guy that's unattractive says it. That's creepy. It's like they say the same thing.
Let's see what they want long term.
Now, if they're looking for a long-term relationship, priorities change. When it comes on to looks, it drops from 35% to 15%.
So long term, you could be ugly
Can't be terribly ugly. I guess
But
that,
well, 15%. I mean,
yeah.
that's not a very high percentage. But look, the other numbers are going to start changing.
Yeah, looks don't matter as much anymore.
It goes from 6% to 27%.
So more money.
When it comes out to game, it drops from 30.
I think it should be 60%.
So no game, no looks,
No.
money for sure.
When it comes down to personality, it goes up from 9 to 18. They know
Yeah.
they have to deal with a personality long term. I don't care how annoying you are. You're handsome. You got your personality is annoying. So personality has a lot to do with it. Then
Status got to be up there.
From 13% to 23%.
Yeah, you see, it's all.
I mean, I feel like status is almost the same thing as resources. Because if you have like, I mean, high status, you're gonna have like a lot of resources.
Well, I mean, it depends. You could be like a millionaire that no one knows, but if you're like you're like example, Leonardo DiCaprio, he has everything there, right? He's got the looks. Well, I don't know if he's got the looks anymore, but he has the resources and the status, like Brad Pitt, you know, back in the day. So I don't know, man. Like it's just so funny. You know, they have a saying for this. They say alpha fucks, beta bucks, right? So you got the short-term guys, those are the alphas, and then the long-term guys, those are the betas. So as long as you have money and you have resources, they'll take a chance with you. But for short term, you know, they just want good looking guys, especially when they're younger too, when they're in their 20s.
So there's a couple different ways you're going to be listening to this. You're going to watch this, you're going to be discouraged. You're going to watch this and saying, okay, maybe I need to change my approach. Let me give you an idea. When I started working on Morgan Stanley being with her, and they said,
all right, let me fast forward. I want to
throw back Tinder pictures.
It's like I used to look like this, guys.
People in the military friends go to a nightclub. I'm going to use with the girls. We go out. First, you treat them this way. You do that. You do this, and then he got the girls. Like, I'm like, well, our style in the military was similar way. I've just never read the book before, but it was effective. But what were we doing?
Oh, okay. He's talking about a book.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like a pickup art book, like pickup. That's game. That's just game. Like,
yeah,
you know, I don't know if I've never.
It's like sales.
The pickup community is so corny. Like,
to be able to sell $2 million homes. Okay, what language do I need to speak to get the client that's about to sell their $2 million home to look at me and say, this guy can sell this $2 million home?
Yeah, and this is him just like telling, like, you know, I guess raising the bar, you know, raising your own standards, like in
yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about the pickup stuff, right? Because you were in college, you dated a lot of girls in college. Like, I mean, what's your thoughts on the pickup community or the pickup strategy and stuff? Like, when you're,
I think it's fucking. I mean, I think pickup lines are cheesy as hell. Like you talking about like the stupid cheesy pickup lines?
yeah, like guys that just go out intentionally just to try to pick up girls, just like running game instead of just letting it happen naturally. You know?
Yeah. I mean, most of the time when I was younger, it's whenever you go out on a mission to try to find something,
you don't get anything.
It's probably the worst. You know, you end up like not going, you know, not finding what you're looking for. You already spend too much money. You're drunk. When you least expect it, it happens easier. So like I always just like just chill out and just go out and have a good time. And usually those are the times that things just end up happening without even putting any in work.
Yeah, or what, you know, you get choosing, we call it choosing signals. You get girls that actually give you some signs that she's interested, and then you can go in, right? So one thing is that you go up to a girl that she's not even looking at you, she's looking at her phone. And the other thing is maybe she's looking across from you and she's giving you eye contact, you can walk over. That's okay.
Yeah. The thing that I noticed too with like some of the, you know, the better looking women that I've dated or been with in the past, if you show them too much attention, it's a turnoff for them. And you know, if I was around a good looking girl that I was really interested in, and I would just, you know, one day I was like at a bar and there was like this chick, she was like standing next to me or at the bar, but all the guys were like, you know, approaching her. I just looked at her and I turned my back to her thinking like, well, whatever, fuck this. And she was like, what the fuck? So she like tapped me on the shoulder. It was like, why? Like, why did you like just turn your back to me? And I was like, because I don't know, I'm here enjoying my day.
Yeah.
And I got her number and we hung out. So like that's stuff like that. If you show them too much attention, they're already used to that shit. Like they want some guy that has,
and you come off too hungry, man.
Yeah, you're like, you're needy and like, you know, just annoying. So
yeah, you want to put yourself out there, but you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself and not be like sweating them, man. They get approached all day if they're hot too. So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think we're on the same page there.
Right.
It probably did help that you're what, 6'3", 6'4"?
I don't know. I'm 6'2" now. I don't think I shrunk an inch.
Oh, you shrunk. Okay.
Oh, I saw these shoes that you can put like you can say like be like 2 inches higher. I'm gonna
Yeah.
start wearing those pretty soon.
Man, I got to tell you a story. Man.
For game, they're not really valuing personality or for me to be somebody where I am somebody that has status or resources. I can go fix those things. Now, if you're watching this and saying you can fix yourself physically and get in shape and you change your diet, you can be somebody at whatever company you're working at. If you're a person that's got a voice, you become a leader, somebody that's doing what you got status. If you're somebody that has a person.
All right. Well, basically, he goes off here and just like what
You
you
got
can
to
do
build
to
yourself
improve
up.
yourself. So basically, guys, you have to do all the fucking work because
Yeah.
nothing's gonna come easy to you.
Yeah, unless you're born with the looks.
Yeah,
That's it.
I mean, so basically, you know, you got to be either born very good looking or you got to be, you know, make a lot of money somehow because these girls they don't have to do shit besides just look pretty.
Yeah, but that runs out after, like they get in their 20s, they get all the options. And then later on, up to maybe their mid 30s, they can still look good. I've seen some girls look good in women in their 40s, you know, late
Yeah.
30s, early 40s. But then after that, you know, a guy can, if he builds himself up, he's got money, resources, he can date women in their 20s when they're 40
Yeah.
or
40. I mean,
or
you could be
50,
60,
50.
60 dating.
Well, yeah, I've seen 60. Yeah, but at that point, I think obviously it's just the money situation. But I think there may be some girls that are in their 20s, maybe dating a guy that's in their late 40s that still looks really good.
Yeah.
And she's probably dating him because he looks really good. And she's
There's guys in their 50s that I've seen in the gym. I mean, they're like freaking, you know, in great shape, look awesome. I mean, so
you think there's
yeah.
a thin line between a girl that's authentically attracted to a guy like that, and then the sugar baby, sugar daddy thing? What do you call it? Sugar, a girl at 20 dating a guy at 60.
I mean, at that point, you have to know you're an idiot if you think this girl's really in love with you. If you're 60 in their 60s and you're dating a 20-year-old, unless she's fucked up in the head, and you're gonna know that anyways because she's not gonna be normal.
That is so, dude. I don't even know how they do it for money. Like, could you do? I mean, I could not do it for. If a 60-year-old wanted to have sex with me, and then she was willing to pay me, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, it depends how much money it's going to be involved, and I'd have to be pretty intoxicated.
Yeah, but some of these girls, they're not asking for a lot. You know, they're asking for like just to pay their bills. I'll pay my own damn bills.
But guys are different, man. Like you're not going to find that many guys that are looking for a cougar, like a sugar mama. Like it's not common. I mean, I know it happens, but it's not like the women out there looking for the guys.
All I gotta say before we finish up this video is that there's a lot of weird ass guys out there that are giving money to these women. You guys need to chill the hell out. Like you heard about these feet pics?
Yeah.
That women are making tens of thousands of dollars a month because they're posting pictures of their feet. What the hell is wrong with guys?
Dude, we are creating a fucking monster with these women that, you know, by supporting these things on OnlyFans, on, you know, the whatever feet pic things. They're making so much money that you're going to be changing the mindset of women moving forward. Like women are not going to they're not going to be the traditional women anymore. They think they're going to be the hottest shit ever because one, they're going to have way more money than us, you know, that we can ever make because all they got to do is show a tit on, you know, online and they get $100,000. So it's like, you know, we need to stop, you know, paying for this stuff. So they stop, like we can calm this down because it's going to get out of control. I mean, eventually something's got to give and it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't understand how guys pay for that kind of stuff. If you want to pay for it, take her out, take a girl out on a date, you'll get laid. You know,
it's pretty sad. I mean, it just goes to show you how many lonely guys are out there that are desperate just to look at something because I'm not paying for fucking porn. I'm not paying for any of that stuff. I'm not paying for prostitute. I mean, if you got to pay, if you have to pay for that shit, it's because you need to work on yourself because there's no need to do it. There's plenty of people out there that you don't have to go pay for this kind of stuff.
No, and you got girls that are selling their farts in a jar and guys are paying for it. What the hell's going on, man? Are you seriously going to pay for a girl's fart?
That's going to be our next podcast. I'm going to order us 2 farts in a jar and we're going to open them up on it. Oh, dude, fuck.
It's just so weird. I guess she was saying like India is their number one consumer. Oh, it's Indian dudes, man. Indian dudes, you guys need to chill out. Like literally, like who is paying for this kind of stuff? This is just, I cannot believe that women are making this much money selling farts and selling OnlyFans and selling feet pictures when there's so much women out there.
They can sell their dirty thongs like and it's crazy, dude.
They're paying a lot of money for this. Like, you know what you can do with that kind of money? You can travel, you can find women in different countries that actually want to go out with you. Like, why are you spending money on this type of BS? It just
If there's any
makes
good
no
looking girls
sense.
out there that want to make money, hit me up. I can be your agent. I'll package and ship your smelly thongs.
Oh my
and
God.
make some money. Oh shit. All right. I think we're running out of time here. So anything else before we head out?
That's it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, and then comment below what you guys want us to talk about next. Until next time.
Yeah, make sure, subscribe. We're gonna do, like I said, we're doing a drawing in the near future. Once we get up to, I think, 100 subscribers, we're gonna do a giveaway, but you have to be subscribed to the channel. Comment, let us know your thoughts, any comments, questions, things you want to hear us talk about in the future. But yeah, all right, guys, good night.
Later.